Hey everybody, Star 6 Wars 1 here, and welcome to the next movie of Anime Movie Month 2. For this one, we're finally going to get away from Perfect Blue with Trigun Badlands Rumble. Now, before we begin, I'd like to see something strange I've noticed. The last 3 of my reviews for this have all been from Studio Madhouse. Yeah, kind of weird. Also, what's even weirder is the fact I'm rewatching Death Note, and that's also from Madhouse. If you want to insert coincidence, I think not joke here. Actually, it really is. I didn't think of that through. Oh well. Overall, though, let's go over the stuff here in Trigun Badlands Rumble. First up, the story. I'm going to not spoil too much because to even talk a little bit about this would go into minor spoilers of the series, and I'll be getting to the series a little later. Now, to be very honest with you here, the story is fairly simple but very effective for the most part. And honestly, I thought it was well told. My only nitpick with the story really is if you try to fit it into the continuity of the show or the manga, you could run into a few plot holes. But then again, if you don't try and just simply take it as is, you'll go in perfectly fine. The ending can be kinda lackluster, and I could see why people may or may not like the ending. But I personally had no problem with it, so there's that. So how about the characters? They're all the memorable characters I remember them as. Now, you do have your new characters as well, and honestly, I found at least the villain of the story rather intriguing. Yeah, he's a bad guy, but he's not outright he's not a horrible person. He's just loudmouth thief, kind of what Trigun villains of the early days were like, and I rather enjoyed it. And Amelia was pretty good as well. Now we get into the one aspect of the characters I'm not as forgiving with, and that is the dub. It's not a bad dub. Let me say that flat out. This is a pretty damn good dub. I love the fact that the dub sounds as great as it does, and it's another Funimation best. The problem is a personal one. I would have liked to see the original English voice cast for the movie. And for the most part, unfortunately, they were recast with the characters we all knew and loved. Now, sometimes it was fine, but other times I really missed the old voice actors. Sorry, you can't really help that for me. I try, but yeah. But if there's one person I'm very glad they kept, it's Johnny Young Bosch as Vash the Stampede. Thank God they kept him. It's almost kind of like how people would view Alucard from Hellsing. Johnny Young Bosch to me is Vash, and he's definitely for me the notable performance of the dub. Great to have him back voicing Vash again. So overall, no complaints here, except minor nitpicks with the dub. Next up is the animation. Now, if you look back at the series, Trigun is not the best with animation, but again, we'll get to that more another time. But Badlands Rumble really shows that it's a newer age. And honestly, I think the animation is infinitely better than in the series. I also think the animation, truth be told, was even great to today's standards. Personally, rather enjoyable, no complaints here. The music's weaker than in the series, but I still rather enjoyed it. It gave nice atmosphere to the show, to the movie itself, and that's all I can really ask for. And it felt natural, like how the music in the series did. Again, no complaints. I gotta share a little something with you guys here. I have watched Trigun Badlands Rumble before making this review. I watched it last summer. In fact, last June. And it was the last time I'd watched it before this rewatch. And to be very honest here, I love Trigun Badlands Rumble just as much as I did back then, if not more. Seriously, guys, in terms of series, anime movies, like movie series that get an anime movie, this is my second favorite, second only to The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. So, quite frankly, this is a personal favorite of mine. I think it has great characters, pretty good story, great animation, and good music. Overall, I can't ask for anything more from a Trigun one that feels like a Trigun movie. And I'm glad I got to see it again, because I missed you, Trigun. And I'm glad to see you again, even if it is at the moment for just a movie. Anyway, I give Trigun Badlands Rumble a 9 out of 10. It's sadly the few problems I do have with it do prevent it from getting a full-on 10 out of 10. But I definitely still highly recommend this to Trigun fans. And if you want to know some of the stuff and don't mind getting a tad bit spoiled, then I would recommend to watch this maybe first to see if you might like Trigun. But again, that's entirely up to you guys. Anyways, that's all from me. This has been Star 6 Wars 1, and I'll see you guys next time.